Good afternoon, or good evening, actually.
Hello, do you think child support should be banned?
Yes, but I think there should be one case where it's allowed
First, why do you think it should be banned?
to de-incentivize promiscuity and having children out of wedlock.
Okay,
My name is James, by the way. What's your name? Or how shall I address you?
this why,
Call you Y? Okay.
yeah.
All right, so do you disagree?
I mean, I don't see how, like, which party would it disincentivize to be promiscuous?
Well, men are always going to want it if women are throwing it. Men are always going to want to catch it. But if women were more cautious, given that child
Mhm.
support, I would argue, should only be given to women who have a fault divorce, not a no fault divorce, but a fault divorce. So, like if you got cheated on, or if you got hit, or if there are pretenses where you're justifiable to leave, then you should get child support. But yeah, but you're asking who does it incentivize to do that? I would say women would be a lot more cautious if they knew that they couldn't get support from this dude.
Okay. Um, there's a lot of women that literally get $40
Mm-hmm.
from child support. It's unpredictable the amount of money you would get. So I don't think a woman would risk her financial stability, whether or not child support was around. So I don't necessarily think it would disincentivize anything unless they know the person they're getting with has a high income.
But from my understanding, a lot of the reasons why women end up offing their kids before they're even born is because they don't feel like they have the financial support. So doesn't that sound a little bit illogical?
And you think that a man's child support would financially support them and a child?
No, but it would give her some level of comfort to go forward with the kid.
Okay, so an unpredictable amount of money would give her a level of comfort.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see how that I don't see how possible 40 or $20. I don't know how much people get paid each month, weekly, would help her live comfortable.
So you think that if a woman knew she could never seek child support from a man, that she wouldn't take that into consideration?
No, I'm pretty sure most women think within their own financial capabilities rather than like a help handout from a man.
If that was the case, then they would never force men to get on child support by the state.
No,
Some
no,
women do it out of,
because
maybe being a little bit vindictive. Some women do it because they generally do need the support. Some women do it because they might not need the support, but I mean, it couldn't hurt. There's a
it
lot of
exists.
reasons.
It exists so that the woman she's entitled. The woman or the person that's in custody of the child is entitled to financial support to the child, whether or not it's benefiting them.
Well, I understand why it exists, but I'm giving you a reason why it would benefit society if it was taken away.
Yeah, I don't know how you think that men are always gonna want it, but some women just, don't really like they're more cautious. I think that there's plenty of women out there that think just as unresponsible as men.
So you think so? So I guess your original answer to my question about if a woman could never seek support from a man, that she wouldn't take that into consideration when it comes to having a kid. You're saying she wouldn't at all. That would not take into she wouldn't take that into consideration at all.
The child support aspect,
Yes, if it was taken away, if she knew she could never get it.
some women might, but for majority of women, no.
I just find that
Like
hard to believe because
my sister
have
never seek child support from her
well, that would be an
father's.
anecdotal thing, and I wouldn't argue
No,
that
I'm
that does
just.
exist. I think there are some women who maybe
Well,
don't
then,
need
do
it,
you
and
have
there
a
are some women.
statistic to prove what you're saying?
Do you have a statistic to prove what you're saying? Because
I
what you're
gave you
saying
an
doesn't logically make
anecdotal.
sense.
No, what do you mean?
If
I'm pretty
are
sure
you asking
that's
me a question?
obvious.
Would you like me to answer it?
No, I'm gonna explain to you why I asked you for proof. You're making blank statements with no proof, so I'm just taking it with a grain of
But
salt.
I gave you a
So
logical
when you
entailment,
say
and you have no
it's not
logic to go against it.
logical, it's not
I can
logical if
explain
you're
to you how it
making.
is if you'd like.
Okay, 1 second. It's not logical if you're making a general claim about women, unless you have a statistic that says that women do this for a specific reason, then it's not true. Like,
You just made a logical claim that women don't care about child support. You made a
no, I
general claim.
didn't.
Was that
No,
not?
I didn't. I said that there's some women.
I agreed with you. I didn't say that wasn't the case.
Hello, sister.
Hi, sister.
Okay, then, so, just don't like. I don't know why you pointed out my anecdotal whenever we're just spewing out information. If you want statistics, then we're gonna have to shift the conversation.
I mean, if you want to go statistic for statistic, I think that would be fair. But I think only asking for me puts a burden of proof on me alone when you're making general claims as well.
I never made a general claim, but
You're,
okay.
so what would you like to do from here?
You can go ahead and prove like the reasons as to why women seek child support, if there's any statistic for that. And you said it was because there was a lot of things you said, but I think I'd rather like to hear you said most women seek ABs because of their fear of financial instability.
I said a lot. I didn't say most.
Okay, whatever. You can just restate your claims.
All right. I think if a woman knew that she could not seek child support at all, whether the guy was poor, whether he made a lot of money, whether she knew she was going to get a good percentage out of him, this would disincentivize her to have kids. And I think it would make her reconsider sleeping with this dude. Now, there is one other loophole, which is offing your kid before it's even born. I think I would also ban that, but that's a different story, right?
Do you just want women to be miserable or something?
No, I think that when it comes to
Because the
freedom,
double standard is showing.
all right. Well,
Earlier, you said that
would you like me to
men.
answer the question, or are you just gonna ask questions
I'm
and then
just
rant?
gonna say one thing. I'm just gonna say one thing. Because earlier you said that men are always gonna, want it, but now it's like women have to take extra precautions whenever they want to seek like I don't know, sexual intercourse. But men can just do whatever they want.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that. I find it odd that a lot of men, um, they don't like the concept of, well, pro men, not just all men, but anyone who supports men. They don't really support child support, and they think that the stereotype that, oh, a woman will use it to pay their nails, and they don't use it for their kids and stuff. But it's like, okay, so it's either we make child support better and we give women the right to get an AB so that less men or less people in general are on child support, or like women become property. It's just how I see it, because we can't just ban AB. We can't just put all the blame on women, because I can spin that around very easily and be like, oh well, too bad, men. You're on child support. You should have thought carefully. You should have thought better before deciding to, lay in bed with this woman. How could you not know that this woman was a gold digger, or how could you not know that this woman was X, Y, and Z? You see how the table could be switched. The story could be switched very easily. But men don't like that. Of course, men are not going to like that because it's a form of victim blaming. So
Okay,
why
well,
are we doing it to other women?
all right. You guys are asking a bunch of questions. Which would you like me to respond to first?
Well, you could just respond to the whole thing
But you
of
guys
what
asked
I
3 or
was
4
saying.
questions. It's a bit difficult. You guys are piling on a bit.
Just pick ones. Pick ones that
All
you
right.
want to
Well,
answer.
let me ask you guys another question then, because maybe perhaps we can make a compromise. If you had to get rid of either or, which one would you get rid of? If you had to ban one or the other, which one would you ban?
Neither.
So you guys don't want to make a compromise.
No, because why should we? Because
Okay.
either
Well,
way,
I'll answer that question right there. The reason why you should compromise or at least get rid of one is because I would argue that freedom is not when another person has to subsidize your consequences. That's not freedom. So if I have to bail you out of your mistake, that's not freedom. That's actually, you're kind of like enslaving me to your decisions. I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want my taxpayer dollars to go to it. It violates my conscience. But that's not freedom at all. I want women to be free, truly free.
Okay, but if you take away one of the options, then you're enslaving the woman. Then, like,
So can you explain to me? I've just explained to you how if a woman has to get a state-sponsored AB or state-sponsored child support, this means that the government has to step in and enforce these laws on behalf of a woman's mistake. That's using taxpayer dollars.
But why is it on a woman?
How is that freedom?
It's two to tango. It takes two to tango. And like I said, I can easily say that. I mean, the way that I think about it is that getting rid of both, regardless of what it is taken away a form of accountability.
No,
People
it's
think
not.
that AB, yes, it is, because
Can you
people
explain
think that
that?
AB, yes, I'll go ahead and explain that. So people think that AB is like this fun, wondrous adventure to go on, and women just walk out feeling like so happy. And it's not. For a lot of women, it is a very heartbreaking thing to go through. It is a very difficult decision to make, because a lot of women know that like this could either make or break my future. I could regret this later on. But a lot of women, they have to choose themselves first, or they have to do what is realistic to what they have in life right now, in terms of like stable income, stable housing, how the economy is, how their current partner is, or how their life is, their career, their education, etc. And I feel like getting an AB is a form of accountability. I really do think it is, because you are taking accountability for the fact that you cannot take care of a child, you are not ready for a child, you did the act, and that act resulted in a pregnancy, and you're taking the accountability to say, you know what, like, or I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have did it with this person, or I'm not ready for a kid, I don't want to bring a kid to this messed up world or my life, I'm not going to be able to have a stable life with this child, or give this child a stable life. And so they get an AB. And child support is also a form of accountability sometimes, when there are like this guy said in the comments, jokes on her, she's a single parent. Okay, but now you're on child support. Now what? Now you're also providing for the child that was born because both of you decided to tango. And we shouldn't allow people to not take accountability for the actions that they have done, because the action is sex. But what is going to be the end result of that? Child
All
support,
right. So
having
can we
a
at least
family,
step back for a second? Can we define accountability? How would you define it? Because we may have a disagreement on the term itself.
I mean, it's a general term. It's taking control of the result. It's taking control of a choice that you have made.
So I would
It is
disagree with
standing
that.
up. No, it is standing up and owning up that you messed up, or a result of your choices has gotten you to the situation that you are now, and so you are making another choice to either make or break your life, whatever it could be.
Well, let's see
Whether
if we
this
can
being
agree on
on
this
person,
definition. The fact or condition of being accountable or responsible.
it is very responsible to get an AB
All
or
right.
to be put
Well,
on child
let me
support.
ask you a question. If a person breaks the law, how would you say that they should be accountable for their actions? Would it be going to jail, or would it be being bailed out?
That just depends on the court. That depends on the
So
legal system.
from most general courts that we see, and most ways that humans observe justice, what would you say being accountable is? If you get caught doing a crime, Would it be going to jail or getting bailed out?
Well, you see, that's a very complex question because I actually I don't know. I've talked to you before. I don't know if I've told you a
Have
lot
we?
about me. We've had talking a few times on this
Okay.
specific panel,
Okay.
and like I'm a criminal justice major,
Wait. I've
and
never spoken to you before. I've never had a conversation with anybody
okay.
about this, but
Well,
continue.
yeah, well, I'm a criminal justice major and I've studied the ethics of criminal justice and it really does vary. Like when you actually speak to people and you when you point out the differences when it comes to the ethics of criminal justice, people are going to have a different opinion. Like I've met people that think that well, we should put them in jail, but we should rehabilitate them. I've met people that say, well, we should do the unaliving penalty. I've met people that say, well, we should just put them in a psych ward.
Okay,
Like
I
it's
understand. I
very different.
understand there's a subjective metric as to how a lot of humans gauge justice, okay? But can you at least acknowledge that we all strive for it?
Yes, we all want a form of
All right.
justice, but
So,
everyone
can you
wants
just
a
I just
different
want to go
thing, so
back
I
to the
can't really
question because I
tell
feel
you.
like you're dodging it. I'm just
I'm not
asking you
really dodging it.
I'm
I'm
just asking
pointing
you
out a
societally.
realistic
Okay, well,
answer
how
for
about
you.
this? Generally speaking, societally, if somebody breaks a law, does society expect them to go to jail? Yes or no?
I mean, yes.
All right. So I would argue that's because we all kind of generally accept this form of justice where there's a penalty for an action and the person has to eat that if they're held responsible. That means they're liable for it. Now, to go
Okay.
back to the AB topic, the issue is I don't see how you can get around if you want to be held mostly responsible, you would come to term with the kid. Now, this is not to say that there is somewhat of a level of biting the bullet when it comes to AB because one party might view it as a clump of cells, but the other party actually views it as like an actual person with potential life. So they're going to have to deal with that the blood on their hands. I understand that, but realistically, actually taking responsible for getting pregnant is going to term.
Do you think it's responsible for someone to have a child if they do not have a stable income or stable housing or even a stable relationship with the person that they did the deed with? I don't
Do
find
I
that
think it's
very responsible.
responsible? Yes, because it values the the life that's inside of you over the
Okay.
potential hardship that it may bring in the future. This isn't to
That's
say that there
not
won't be a
what
hard
I
life,
feel like you're not really I'm not trying to be rude, but it doesn't sound realistic.
but this is probably just
It is
because you and I have a different value set. I value life more than a person's upbringing. I wouldn't get rid of somebody because we have a fundamental disagreement with life itself. I think. What do you think?
I mean, if we're talking about the subject of AB, I value the people, the women, because they are biological women, they're biologically females, the people that get ABs. I value the females that are living right now, regardless of their identity, regardless of where they come from. I value their life over, the fetus or the clump of cells or however you see it
Well, how do
in
you
their
see it?
stomach.
Is what I'm asking. How do you see it? Is it a
I
clump of
feel
cells
like
or
at a
is it
certain point, I feel like at a certain point, like maybe after like 4 months, but like depends how
after four
early on
months?
or something.
So what if the
But
lady
I
finds
still,
out that her support system is gone after 4 months? Should she go to term or is she still able to get rid of it after 4 months?
I mean, she could do whatever she wants.
Well,
That's
then
my point.
I'm trying to get what your value set is because you said 4 months, but now you're taking that
Well,
back.
that's just me personally, but just because like I see it that way doesn't mean other people, other women
Well,
or people will.
my main claim was that you and I value life differently, but you're saying, I mean, can you at least agree to that?
I mean, yeah, of course we see it differently.
Right, because you don't really see life at all, even after 4 months, apparently, and I see it probably towards the beginning. So that's why I have the opinion I do. It's not to enslave anybody or it's not to like put my foot on somebody's neck. It's just because of a moral conviction I have about it. It's a principled stance.
Okay.
But
Oh,
I understand we're not going to necessarily agree with that. I mean, we can at least go back to the child support thing.
Yeah, we could go back. So, I wasn't really here when you first were talking. Are you against child support?
In most cases, I think the only way it should be enforced is if there's a at fault divorce. The mother should be able to seek damages in that case or support. And that would be by the way of whatever is already in place. Maybe even more, to be honest. Like if the husband messes up, make him pay. I think that's
Well,
fair.
I find it weird because you say you value life. You say we value it differently, but by allowing men to escape the accountability that they did the deed with this person that now has a child, you're not really respecting the life of that already living human being. Because money, let's be real, the economy isn't that well. It's going to affect both parties very terribly. But if the mother is the sole provider of her child, if she is the one that's mainly housing the child, where she has to pay the rent, she has to pay the bills, she's feeding this child, whether it's formula or Gerber food or whatever it may be. If the child's older, then it's probably going to be McDonald's or frozen nuggets or whatever. Clothes, books, all these things that a child needs in order to nourish and grow. They're going to need some kind of economic, not economic, financial help. And I feel like if you were pro life or you value life in that sense, then you would be for it. Because what if the mother was struggling? Like, I just feel like it's very it's not disrespectful, but it's very, I don't even know how to say it. It's just, it doesn't sit right with me if the woman has to be the one that is a sole provider of this child. And what if she's struggling? Because we always hear the stereotype that, well, women are probably using the money to do her hair, her lashes, or her nails, and buying Louis Vuitton or whatever the hell. I don't know these brands. But I mean, I find that very unlikely. Like, I've met men, like, for example, my sister's
Well, ma'am,
baby
I
daddy.
think I wanted to get at your point that you mentioned. You have two already. I mean, how many more points do you want to get before I can respond? Would you like to do 2 point for 2 point, or because it's just difficult when you have like multiple points for me to go one by one?
I feel like it all kind of goes together. I mean, let's just go with the first point. Like, if you valued life, wouldn't you think that child support would be best for the living human being that is brought upon to the world? Like I said, it takes two to tango.
Yeah, so there are other options that the woman can do when it comes to the what to do about it. Now, I'll be
Mhm.
honest with you. I think it's weird that men don't have any authority, right? They have no authority when it comes to what happens after the child. If she wants to exit out, she can do that. If she wants to bring it to term and charge you whatever price she can get you out of, she can do that. So the man has no authority in when it comes to the father point, but yet he has to have the responsibility when it comes to the father point. The man can't decide whether or not she can keep it, right? Do you think a man should be able to say, hey, if you want to have that kid, I don't care, you should have it? Do you think that's fair? Do you agree with that?
No,
Okay,
but
okay.
it reminds
So let
me
me
of
ask you
the
another
other
question.
point.
Do you think if a woman says, I don't want to keep the kid, and the dad's like, wait a minute, I love this kid already. I want you to, or what if it's the other way around? I don't think you view. Do you get what I'm saying? Whether the man
Yes,
wants it
but
or
I feel
doesn't,
like
you
it
say
kind of goes
the man
back
has
to
no
your
say,
original
correct?
point. I heard you say earlier that, well, it will make women second guess who they're sleeping with and take more accountability or responsibility.
Right.
And I think that same logic can apply to the man, don't you think?
Yes, but the one thing that's different is the state's not getting involved. Like if a man cheats on a woman or vice versa, I don't think either one of them should go to jail for that. I just think, maybe people shame these people. If they want to be hoes or whoremongers, then maybe we should just shame them for that. But I don't think that the state should get involved. I'm just saying the state should get out of it. Does that make sense or no?
Yeah, it does. Sorry. Hold on. Give me
Yeah,
1 second.
no
Host, I
problem.
don't know if you want to ask him a question because I'm setting up a plate right now. So give me 1 minute.
I mean, If the state was no longer involved, how would this, like, why would this even be a conversation? I feel like most men wouldn't want to financially provide.
If the state wasn't involved, how would that change things? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times women make decisions with having a support system in mind. And if they don't have one, then they're less likely to behave a certain way. I'm trying to get rid of, well, principally, I just don't want the state to be involved. But the benefit of that would be that a lot of relationships would be longer lasting because a woman would be more prudent and less, they'd be more cautious with who they're willing to lay down with. If they knew for sure that the man was going to stay, oftentimes this is marriage. And that's why I'm saying that would be a good thing. Like child support should be given if you get that. If you can get that man locked down and he ups and leaves, yeah, take his money. But if you can't get that, then so this is a way to encourage marriage, and this is to encourage less kids being born out of wedlock, because I think this is a big issue. So what's wrong with women getting married more and having stronger relationships?
I don't think that a woman should be financially dependent on a man anyways, but whenever you decide to have a child with the person, because I feel like it takes two people to raise one child, whether it's a male, and a male, a female, and a female. Either way, just I feel like you need two people.
But isn't the state
But
so you rather the woman be dependent on the state than the
no,
man?
I'm just
But isn't
no.
that what the wasn't that what child support is?
I'm saying that whenever it comes to someone having a child with another person, whoever's not with custody of the child, like should be in what's it called? Should be forced to pay child support at the request of the person that has the child.
But how is this freedom if people are forced to pay things by the government? How is this free? I thought women wanted freedom.
It's freedom because you have the choice to participate in the act. Do you know that child support goes for both men and women?
Yeah, but let's be honest here. We know where. I don't care. Take it away from men. I don't care. But we all know where it goes to most. It goes to the people.
Yeah, because men don't fight for custody as much. So what do you expect?
Either way, I would argue take it away from both of them. I have no problem with that. But I I don't understand how women talk about how they want freedom. However, they want to force men to pay stuff. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's not forcing. You already, okay, you already accept that that will be a possibility at the moment that you participate in a certain act with a woman. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
just
but
kind
the
of,
man has no authority in the matter. After
he does so.
no, he doesn't,
Just
because if he
don't
wants the kid,
participate in.
if he wants the kid and the woman doesn't, the woman can say no. If he doesn't
Yeah,
want the
because it's
kid
a
and the
part of
woman
her
does,
body.
she can say no both ways. So he has no authority in the matter when it comes to his child. However,
He has authority whenever he makes the decision to participate in the act of
but you act
intercourse.
like the woman doesn't have the same authority. This is both equal authority here.
Yeah, guess what? Guess what her obligation is to take care of the child.
That's not her obligation, and you and I both believe that's not the
That's
case.
after the fact.
You and I believe both right now.
Generally,
Well, hold on. If I could speak real quick.
Okay.
You and I believe, you know this for damn sure, that the woman has no accountability to take, that she can do whatever she wants. And that's what you guys support. You and the lady I was just arguing with. You guys support the woman to be able to off the kid or have the kid. So she can do whatever she wants. She's not forced to do one thing.
Same with the man.
No, that's not
But
true,
the
because
man,
if the woman wants them and the man doesn't matter. If the woman doesn't want them and the man does, it doesn't matter. Correct?
I think maybe you're just getting upset at the fact
correct?
that
But
women
how come you're
tend
not
to have
answering the
sex.
question?
Is that correct though?
Whenever it comes to the specifics of like
Yeah, this is why we can't take
AB,
women seriously. Like,
Well,
you know.
let's just let her answer the question.
whenever you're speaking about a woman's
Go ahead, ma'am.
Why
I
does a
think you
man
might
not
have
get a
cut off.
choice? But you get a choices.
Yeah, I think her audio.
We'll be back. Give her a minute.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
like
you what are
literally.
you eating?
I'm eating some buffalo wings.
Sarah, I
Blue
got
cheese
a
or
phone
ranch?
call.
Ranch.
Ah.
Sorry, I got a phone call, but
Yeah. So I was just asking
we're
the question: do you, in this society, can a woman do whatever she wants with the kid?
like the fetus.
Whatever you want to call it. Can she do whatever she
Yeah,
wants?
in some states, yeah.
Does the man have any say?
No,
Okay, so we're going back to this freedom thing where both parties agree to
but
go ahead.
you do realize the reason why we like have the pro chance stance is because we are for bodily autonomy. So if there was an instance where a man wanted to uphold his bodily autonomy, we would stand for that. We
Well,
would be pro-choice.
okay, well, how about
No, you
this?
wouldn't.
Well, how about this?
No,
Maybe
you
we can
wouldn't.
come. Maybe we can agree on this. Maybe we can agree on this. How about this? If the man wants to get rid of his fatherhood, his rights, do you agree that he should be able to get out of child support then?
In what sense? Like to get a specific
He relinquishes
transition
all of his rights to being a father.
Forever.
to just what do you mean?
Meaning
Like
he no longer
a
has
certain
authority. He
procedure.
severs
No
his
finances.
ties. He severs his ties to this kid, as in legally he's not the parent. If the man just relinquishes all of his rights as a father, can he then get out of child support?
I don't think you can legally do that. It's the same way a woman can't.
No, but
And that's
should
not bodily
he?
autonomy.
Well, I'm not saying
No,
I'm
but
not
it
saying I
is.
don't know if
Because he
it.
makes that money with his body.
Well, I don't know if it. I don't
Does
know
he
if
not?
I don't know if it is a actual thing now. But I'm asking you if that was the case. If the man could just say, "All right, I can't go into this kid's life after they're 18. Maybe when they become an adult, they can come see me, but I can't be seen with this kid. I relinquish my rights to this kid." You get what I'm saying? If he could do that, do you then agree that he should be able to not pay child support?
Like hypothetically, if the child was to end up in a safe home, yeah.
What do you mean a safe home? Like if there was
Like
no financial need?
if the child was given to another person, not
Oh, James, hold up,
No,
hold up. Let me
I just
finish.
mean like
Yeah.
a single. If he agreed to no longer see her or the kid, and he's not going to be the in and out of the life dad, he's just completely absent, meaning he can't. He's not the next of kin. He doesn't have any guardianship rights. Do you at least agree to him not being able to pay child support? Because then,
is not
but that would at
um
least equate. But here's how I think it would make the most sense because the
The
mother.
fact that, like,
Well,
the
hey,
fact
bro,
that she
can I
can
speak,
see
bro?
that,
Bro, can I speak?
it's not
I'm
It's
trying
not
to
what
argue
we
here.
think. It's just saying that you
Look,
don't
I'm
need to
trying
get
to
coverage.
debate. I'm trying to have a discussion with her. You keep butting in. So for example, the woman can decide whether she wants to get rid of the kid or keep it. The man gets to decide whether he wants to be a father or not. Does that make sense?
I'm just asking what is this in
The second part doesn't make sense in her brain. It
I
doesn't
mean,
make sense.
you're making assumptions for her.
well,
I'm not claiming that.
Like,
no,
look, how many times we gotta ask the question?
well, first of all, you asked me a question, then you talked after, so I was
Uh,
waiting for him to finish talking. And I was also gonna ask like more questions about this hypothetical.
mhm.
Um, yeah, what is this in relation to?
Because you're claiming that the
Your
we're
body, your
talking about
choice. A man's
autonomy
body,
and we're
his
talking
choice.
about choice. So
But that's not bodily autonomy.
it is
Yes,
body.
it is.
As a guy just mentioned above me, it's my money has to go towards this person now. That is part of my body. I'm working for it. That's my energy has to go towards this kid that I don't even want.
Okay, but that isn't bodily autonomy.
Can you explain
Yeah, it
that to
is,
me?
because you made that money with your body.
How is
Where
it
did the
how is it
money
not
come from?
bodily
You didn't pull
autonomy?
out of the sky.
Okay, it's because the same way that if a woman decided to have a child and she just decided to just leave it somewhere,
Yeah, we're granting you
that's
that.
not
That's what he's
bodily
granting you. He's
autonomy.
saying you get all the decision, right? Whether you want to keep the child or not. But can the man do the same thing? Can he decide to be a father or not?
You just cut off ties. You can't cut off your like.
Yeah, but
What
you
do you
get to
mean?
decide though,
Women do it
right?
all the time. They call
With
it
the
a
man's
clump of
absence,
cells. They throw it down a trash can. They
they call it a fetus.
relinquish the life. They do it all the time.
Do you know what the difference is between having a biological connection to like a 18 and younger year old
Yeah,
and
but if it was that deep, then it would be human.
in
Why are you getting rid of it
to
then?
a fetus? Like the fetus is within the mother, within her womb.
Yeah,
It's getting life from the mother.
Hmm.
yeah.
This
So what?
child
You're
is
pregnant for
already
9 months.
born.
You're in labor for a couple of hours. A man has to work 18 years for child support. It's not the same thing.
Okay, go to Mars. I don't care. You have the Sudanese
Okay,
like
yeah.
mindset.
Oh, so
So
you
he
guys are
maybe
so you guys are both
he
from
shouldn't
Sudan,
have
huh?
he shouldn't have
No, no, no.
How did you
labored
pick up
for
her
Like,
accent? How
she's
did you
not.
pick up his
She's not
accent
even
that quick?
consistent.
I already know him from
Oh,
last time.
all right. So he makes a good point. Not 18 years versus 9 months of carrying. You know what I mean?
No, that's not realistic.
How's it
And the
okay?
reason that I
How's it
say
not
that
realistic?
is
You care for 9 months, couple of hours in labor.
because
A man
and
has
that's
to
the
work 18
problem,
years.
and that's a major problem because you guys see pregnancy as a temporary thing, as if it doesn't make permanent changes to a woman's body and her life. This isn't just like a robot
So what?
baby
But you made the
where
decision
it just
though.
crawls around the house with no food, no water, no attention, no care.
Yeah, but
Like she
I
has
have
to
to
deal
pay
with
for the
that
kid for
child
18
for her
years.
whole life.
I have to pay for the
Her
kid
whole
for
life.
18 years.
Even after 18, that's still her child. Whether or not whether or
That's
not
still
she
his child.
decides to
She's
keep
still
that
fine.
child under her house after 18 is her life and her business. But I mean, it's just not. I mean, you guys are saying as if after 18
You speak of children
baby
like they only
disappears.
belong to women and not men. And
Well,
that's the whole problem.
let me ask you a
Like
question
how
then.
you guys speak of me.
Are men supposed to pay for the kid forever? Would you guys support past 18 years child support?
No.
Would you guys
I never
support before 18 years child support?
up
Yeah.
until they're a legal
No.
adult and they're
What
able,
about
yes.
up until term? If the woman lets it keep it to term, should the man have to pay back taxes for 9 months?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
You see, logic doesn't exist in female clan world. Logic doesn't exist. That's why you never
But
thought
you
of these
guys
things,
claim
'cause don't
that
care
you want
about men's
autonomy, but it's
perspective.
only for you guys. And how is that equality? How is that
Because what you're arguing is not bodily autonomy. What you're arguing.
Girl, why are we letting these Kevin Samuels up in here? What is going on?
Well, who are you calling Kevin Samuels?
Worldwide, Yani, are you also Sudanese?
I'm just trying to eat this.
Hey, shout out to my homies in Sudan.
What was the question?
Are you
I asked
also
the question. Oh, yeah,
Inta
I didn't hear a question.
Sudania or what?
Can't understand. I can't know.
Are you Sudanese? Are you Sudanese?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you say it has
I'm Jamaican.
Yani. Oh, sorry. You have Yani in your name, so.
That's my mother's nickname for me. My real name is Ian. She called me Yanni as a child.
Oh, that's like you know in Arabic. Never mind.
I know what it means.
Okay.
So why? How is this not? How am I not making a autonomy consistent argument here? The man should be autonomous with his belongings. The woman should be autonomous with hers.
Because a man can walk around and show like literally no signs of fatherhood, no signs of giving birth, while a woman has to deal with the physical and mental permanent effects of pregnancy and motherhood.
You choose those.
Yeah, I
men.
understand.
What
I
now?
understand.
Choice.
Look, I can agree that
That's
okay.
choices.
Oh my god.
I can agree that the consequences are a bit more dire on the woman's part because she has to carry
And
the kid
that's
to
why it's
term.
important that you choose wisely.
Okay, and if men don't want to pay child support, they can also choose wisely. If men do not want to pay child support, they should have chose wisely as
Yeah, but
well.
you're not
So
making.
why?
But here's the
So
thing.
why
Here's the
are we?
We
difference.
agree, but
Here's the
Why
what's
are
your
we
difference.
only
choice?
putting the blame on women and not the men?
This is why, because your whole
Because it's
bodily
your
autonomy
because it's your
argument falls
choice.
out
We're
the
placing
window.
both. We're
What? No, it
placing
doesn't.
blame
Yes,
on
it
Because once
does,
women,
again, like
because
I
but the
said,
man doesn't
Bodily
they
at the
don't
end
get
of
it,
the day.
girl. They will never. They're not a female, so they will not
Like,
get
do
it.
y'all understand what
Unfortunately.
bodily
yeah, I've
autonomy?
never had a period. I don't understand what it means to. But I'm talking
Okay,
about
5
Yeah, because
principles.
it is so easy to just like walk out of the fucking birthing room
Well,
and
how
be
easy
like,
is
yeah,
how
I'm
easy is
single.
how
I've
easy is
never
this
had a
to
kid in
not
my
have
life.
sex?
F these
Oh,
kids.
sorry. How easy is it to
While
not have
women are
a?
literally, unless she gives it up for adoption or it's AB'd, and
Well,
even
but here's the
then,
thing.
it
You,
still can permanently affect her body.
it's easy to just
So you
not. It's
literally
easy
still
to
have to be
just say
responsible for
no.
that child.
Wait, this
Like,
bitch
I
ain't
don't
let
know.
me talk.
Yeah, I want to know if any of the men on here know what bodily autonomy is, because it's not like just making decisions.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
guys.
define it then. You guys mute people. Define it.
Spicy
Well, I
garlic
want to know what
chicken
you
wings from
guys
Pizza
think
Hut
is.
is top notch.
If you
Do you
choose what
do you
happens
agree
to your
that
body, right?
the burden? Do y'all agree that the burden for birth is higher for women?
Yes.
The burden is higher on the woman, correct? So then if you
What
agree with that,
did you just do
if you
logic?
agree with that,
They don't do
well,
logic, bro. These are women.
Shut the fuck up, ho.
after
I don't give a fuck if it's the last day of TikTok. You talking about how I don't have logic. No, it's you that don't know how to fucking
Of
think.
course you don't. You
Explain
maybe
this
like
shit to
10
you
times.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G up until Y and Z, and you don't get it. And you have an attitude, so shut your ass up,
may
ho.
I finish?
No,
May I
fuck you.
finish my point?
No,
AP,
May I
I
finish
need
my
to
let you
point?
teach you how to
finish
curse in
nothing.
Arabic.
Yes, I'm
Wait,
talking to
wait,
you, ho.
wait, wait, 1 second.
I got
AP,
10,000 trained kids, and I collect child support for every single one of them, $100 per child. Do you have any other questions
Pass
for
the money.
me? Okay, that's what I thought, because you're talking about how I don't have a fucking logic and this and that. Girl, you shut your ass up, because you're on first of all, host may be running the show, but I'm the admin, and I
I didn't say you didn't have logic.
too. You're on my panel too, ho.
I didn't
So-
say you had logic.
You said woman. I'm a woman. Last time I checked, when I checked down with the pants, I have a new. So we just keep it cute. Just keep it cute.
I was gonna say I need to teach y'all to say some stuff in Arabic. Here for a song, just say escut. If he talks over you, say escut for now. Because if I say anything else, he might get mad and crash out. Okay, you guys can unmute. Just try to keep it like one at a time for the guys.
All right. So you wanted to talk about bodily autonomy. You wanted to define it, right?
I wanted to know your definition, you and Song and the other guy, but he dropped.
It's basically having free agents, it's basically having being able to govern your own body. So like, but the problem is you don't necessarily believe in that.
So can I ask you
ahead.
a question? If do you believe in bodily autonomy for women and men as well?
I think it just depends, to be honest, because we kind of relinquish governance a lot. Like if we break a law, we kind of expect like there to be consequences for that. So
Okay, that's my answer as well. So I'm not gonna award a woman bodily autonomy after she gives birth. If she decides to just leave her child because she does no longer want to care for it, I am not gonna stand for that the same way I wouldn't for a man. So I understand that you feel like I am not agreeing with bodily autonomy whenever it comes to men deciding if they want to participate in the child's life, but I hold the same standard for women.
but here's the issue:
And
you have a lopsided judgment. It's prejudicial because
it's not prejudicial.
well, I can explain how it is.
Okay.
You still have an answer to it. The woman can decide. Look, I'll agree with you. Let them have the child support. If we can get rid of all ABs, let them have it. I'll take it. But until AB is in place, you shouldn't have it, because you get to decide whether or not the kid can live or pass away. The man has no say. So you're saying The woman,
I feel like a lot of your personal feelings are coming into play,
I
and
have
the
no
reason why
person.
you think I'm
I
being
mean, whether
prejudiced.
I have never had, no one I know has that, no one I've been with has that any ABs, not that I know of. But I mean, sure,
Because
sure, I feel strongly about it. It's a moral case, the same way you do. I don't understand what's your argument.
no, because whenever you say that a woman doesn't have or a man doesn't have a choice, it like goes against my whole belief of bodily autonomy.
But but you and I just agree that bodily okay, so let me ask you a question about bodily autonomy then. Are women fully bodily autonomous?
Like in what case?
Because you and I agree that we have to pay taxes. If we don't, somebody's gonna beat us upside the head and throw us in jail, right?
This is what he's saying. Women decide when smack happens, not men.
Bruh.
Okay, I don't need you to mansplain it. Like I understand what you're saying. So
Yeah, otherwise it's the R word, you know?
please.
Women decide when smack happens. You have to give permission for that to happen, right? So you have all the responsibility.
I'm really trying not to disrespect you. So please, like,
Am I wrong?
I didn't even listen to what you said. You just talked over me while he
Women
asked me a
decide
question.
when that happens.
How is you cool?
What are we doing?
Okay, I'm gonna answer your question. Can you like ask it again? Because I got
Yeah, so
sidetracked.
you and I both know that we're
Who
not
decides
autonomous if
when
we break the law,
smack
right?
happens?
Yeah, the law. We don't have full bodily
Okay.
autonomy.
Another way you forfeit
Yes,
your
we
autonomy.
absolutely do.
Oftentimes you'll forfeit your autonomy if you break into somebody's house, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so there are instances in which your autonomy is relinquished. So you don't. So like we live in a society where we kind of understand that already. So the bodily autonomy thing, I think it's kind of a rhetorical claim, but there isn't really like a. The reason why I bring that up is because I'm trying to argue that you don't necessarily believe that fully. It's just only when it's convenient for you. And it's convenient because in this case you get to claim my body, my choice. But if somebody needs to get a vaccine, oh wait, you don't have no choice. Oh, if somebody needs to pay some taxes, oh wait, you don't have no choice.
Mm. How do you answer to that?
We live in a society where we go by laws. So
Yeah, and laws can be changed, and in this case we're talking about this law, right?
of child support
Yeah,
in
it's a law.
relation to bodily autonomy.
Yeah, so you believe in
Okay,
bodily
so
autonomy when it's convenient for you.
no,
I'm gonna make it a law that every single male on the planet Earth has to get a vasectomy. That's
What about women?
wait, no, because I just want to make sure that you're gonna hold the same standard, James.
What
So
standard?
if you say that men should have the bodily autonomy to cut off ties to their children, should women do that as well? Like if there's no one to care for the child, and just leave the child somewhere to
Women
die.
are already doing that through abortion. That's the whole point, lady.
No,
Come
that's
on,
not
keep
the
up.
same thing.
Well,
Please be quiet. Escuche,
if
Hewan, please. Please. I'm begging, please. I don't, like I can drop you. Okay, James. So would you accept the same thing for women?
no,
So why are you contradicting yourself?
because if no one takes care of the kid expires.
Okay, so whenever a father decides to just relinquish his rights and disregarding who's going to be taking care of the child, like what do you think's going to happen?
The woman's gonna grow up. I mean, the child's gonna grow up to be an adult.
So mothers can give their children up at a firehouse.
So why should this be up to the mother? Why is it like why is the mother burdened in finding these resources for the child?
Because she decided to have a kid.
Okay, so the same way that you decided to participate in the act, you also have to pay. Like,
No, but I don't get to
am I
participate in
the
whether.
only am, am I
But
the
like
only
I just
person that
told you,
sees
I
the
don't get to
contradiction?
participate when the kid. If whether I don't get to decide whether the kid lives or passes. That's your decision.
You decided to have intercourse, and that's where
So
I
did the
award
woman.
you, and that's where I award you your bodily autonomy. So the same way that the woman decided to act in that, like, thing, whatever, intercourse, um, she's burdened with finding resources and caring for the child. You're burdened with also paying for it.
Most times, child support is actually from a loving father that wants to be a part of the family, but is used
Carla,
against
I
them.
know. I'm going insane.
Most child support is it actually hurts the father.
Do you have specific?
I mean, go find a deadbeat father who doesn't pay child support. They don't have a job. They don't have any income, so that they never pay. They end up in jail. Child support doesn't do anything good for the family.
Well, I'm not going to say that child support doesn't do anything good, because I would argue it has some benefit, at least financially. But the key part that you're missing, Miss Y, is that the dad doesn't get to decide whether the kid lives or passes away.
Oh
So
my God.
you're making the man responsible for the woman's decisions. Because the woman gets to choose. She has all the authority to choose whether the kid stays or doesn't stay.
No, she doesn't. This
Can you
is
explain? Can you explain to me, just real quick? Can you, Miss Y? Can you explain to me how the woman doesn't have a choice to decide whether the kid lives or stays?
You don't even agree with AB, so I don't know
Of
why you're
course, but they're a
arguing.
reality and they're here, and women have them all the time. Like it's
Okay, so
Jolly Ranchers.
can a woman have an AB after 6 weeks in Texas?
Can she? I don't know. How is that relevant?
Yes, she can if it's going to harm the mother.
Whether she can or can't. How is that relevant?
Because I'm giving you a scenario in where she cannot get these procedures that you're claiming. Like she has a choice.
If she can't have the kid, if she has to have the kid, I'll agree. Let him give him on child support. I'll agree. How about that? Can we agree on that?
We could have just like.
Come on, why we're right there. Why we're
beginning.
about to shake hands. We're about to shake hands right here. If the woman has to have the kid, then let the child support be on.
Yeah, I mean, but
All
except
right.
there's like I don't know how many states where AB is legal.
Man, let me ask ChatGPT real quick.
Oh, geez.
Well, why don't you find it? We'll match the answers, see if they're both correct.
Okay, I'm gonna use my fat iPad.
How many
Look,
states
I do not like typing on this thing.
are? How many states make? I don't even know how to word it.
How many states legalize AB?
Okay, there you go.
Mine says 21 states.
Let me see where they're illegal.
Also, there's like another problem. Who's gonna pay for all that?
You act like women are just like these potatoes.
No, but obviously, no, that's not what I'm saying. But if there was a scenario where, I don't know, she was young, like not many people are financially capable of going out of state to get an AB. So,
Well, I mean,
but
if
I'm
you
gonna stay consistent, and yeah, I mean, I'm pretty like she's gonna have to pay for that. Okay.
so then we've reached a compromise then. If in the states where it's illegal to have an AB, the woman can get child support. And the states where it's not, no child support. Do you think that's at least a logically consistent position?
For now, I'm
All
too
right,
tired
Wise.
to
Look at
get
that.
into
Look at that. We
that.
came to a compromise. All it took was some Sudanese people to butt in.
No, they didn't help.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure having a conversation with you. You guys have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thanks.